Good morning. This is the Mill Creek Regina block. It was one of our first AEA blocks. It's been under the AEA system now, going into its 5th year. Prior to beginning the AEA trial here, we were actually considering removing the block because it had very poor growth, complete lack of vigor, and low yields. Regina is naturally a very low yielding cherry. Typical yields per acre are 3 tons or less with this cherry, and that's even on dwarfing rootstock for the Dalles area. It just is not a good yielding variety. And when it does set, say at 6 or 7 tons an acre, oftentimes the fruit are very small because the tree is not vigorous enough to put on the number of leaves and have the leaf surface area that the fruit need to size. So it's a beautiful cherry. It ships very well. It eats very well. It's rain crack resistant, yet it's firm. And it's a very desirable cherry that gets a premium price. But we still don't make good money under typical management with this cherry because we don't have the yields. And when we do get the yields, we don't have size. But that's not the case with this block after 5 years of the AEA program. We've been doing sap analysis, mulch applications, and really intensely managing our trees. And you can see just how much new growth and vigor these trees have. They look really, really vigorous. And that's what you need in a Regina tree because they have a tendency to be wimpy. And the major reason why they're wimpy is because they're highly susceptible in our growing conditions to bacterial canker. Now, our growing conditions in the Dalles are not conducive to bacterial canker. We're hot and we're dry, but the Regina on dwarfing rootstocks is highly susceptible. So these Regina are on Gisela 12, and I just want to show you what I think is the ideal situation for Regina. Thanks to the AEA program, we've been able to create it here. And what we have is we have an extremely high crop in this orchard here. We're probably going to pick 10 to 12 tons an acre here. That is 3 to 4 times what the average Regina production is. And if someone were to tell me before we started with the AEA program here, you're going to have 10 tons of Regina, I would have said, whoa, that's not a good thing, because those trees are not going to be able to size the fruit. They won't have the leaf surface area. But just look at the volume of leaf here. In a typical Regina orchard, this is on central leader. You can see the central leader and see the whorl scaffolds sticking out to the side. Not on these trees. There are too many leaves to be able to even see the scaffolds. And the other thing is that crop load of our crop load here, 10 to 12 ton, you'd be able to see all the cherries exposed to the elements because there are far more cherries than leaves. Well, we don't see that here at all. So let's pick a tree. All right, we'll pick this tree. Okay, so we have a really nice amount of vigor on this tree, really growing crazy. And in fact, you might say, well, that tree doesn't have a crop on it. Let's walk up and take a look here. And apologize for my cinematography, but I'm going to walk so you can kind of just take a look. So this is exactly what we want to see in a Regina tree. We want to see these big leaves like this one here. I mean, those are nice sized leaves. We want to see these big leaves, and we want to have those big leaves covering up the cherries. So if we get in here and look, this Regina tree is absolutely loaded. When you can't see it from the outside because of the number of the number of leaves and the substantial canopy. But this tree is absolutely loaded with fruit. Let's see if we can get in here. Just take a look in here and look at how much fruit is here in this tree. So we're just starting to pick the bings at this location. These Regina are going to be harvested in about another 10 to 12 days. So they aren't even close to being ready for harvest, but they're already big. Let's just grab some cherries here. Pick some these are convenient. When you're filming, you always think you can do more than what you can because you only have one arm, or one hand rather. Okay. Look at how big these cherries are. They are already huge, big, beautiful stems, and they're going to be sizing here in this block for another 12 days. That is really impressive, given the challenges with having Regina set a crop to begin with, and then the challenges when you do set a crop in Regina to be able to size that crop. With this block and other Regina blocks that we have under AEA, we see now that we can set heavy crops consistently. We've set them now for 3 years in a row on our AEA crop blocks. We've seen that we're able to size these heavy crops. And as I mentioned, the major reason why we can't size crops, heavy crops in Regina, if we are lucky enough to get them, is because of bacterial canker. You don't see any bacterial canker in these blocks anymore, and that's really an amazing feat. I am very surprised and would have never imagined that we would have this much success with Regina. So that's Regina under an AEA system of management. Really positive. Have a great day.